Hey guys, Tim here with Geekedupgaming Review Group. We're going to talk to you guys about the game not the game Buttonshy, Pentaquark by Buttonshy Games. This is like a really cool game. It's frustrating because I haven't beat it yet, and I've played it maybe 5 or 6 times now, and I can't seem to figure out how to really get everything lined up to where I can actually win. Because you have to have a combination to win with the cards. So you have to have this winning pattern of up, up, down, and then a star, and then the anti mark there. So the cards are all labeled with their own color, and then their anti-color and anti-symbol. So there's going to be like down, and then an anti-down, and then red and anti-red, stuff like that. So when you're playing the game, you're going to have everything set out, and there's 3 different places on the board or on the table that you would set it up on. So you would have, you had to have your deck, and then you'd have 3 cards laid out, and then we would, let's say if they were these 3 cards, one card's going to go in front of you, one's going to go to discard, and then one's going to go at the top of the table. And those sections have different names. I just can't remember what they are right now. So when you're first setting up and everything, you're going to pull the Annihilate cards out and then put them off the side over in a pile. And then these cards, all of them, you want them all to be facing the same direction. So to know how to do that, you're going to put them all on their main side or their non-anti side. So you're going to do all of them on this side, and then the back, all the backs should be their anti side. So you would do that, do all that, and then you shuffle them, and then you can take half. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I always count like 9 in because there's 15 cards, so or not 15, there's 18, somewhere in there. 18, well, there's 18 total, and then you take the 3 Annihilate cards out, so yeah, you'd have 15. So I do 7, is what I meant. So half of 15, rounding down, is 7. So I'd take 7 off of there, flip them over, so that way you'll have half regular, half anti, and shuffle those together, and then you'll flip out your 3, and then you'll continue your gameplay. So it's really cool to put certain cards into discard, because in the next round these are going to come back, but you're also going to add an Annihilate card that's going to go in there, and then you're going to shuffle that in, so you have to worry about that popping up, and that's going to eliminate any card that's by itself and isn't paired up with another card. But with that said, it's like it's really hard to, because not only do you need this combination up here, but you also have to have the 3 main colors, and then one of them has to be the anti-color. But you have to make sure you still have that star, and then the directional. You have to have all that together to win the whole game. And there's like 3 or 4 times out of the 6 that was like really close, and it just didn't end up. The cards didn't end up falling for me. So this is almost like playing solitaire, but 99 levels up. Like this is like level 100 solitaire. So you're going through the cards, you're filtering through, you're trying to match cards together, so that certain cards don't get destroyed and get put into the nether, or whatever you want to call it, or the abyss, and stuff like that, because those cards are just taken out of the game and are annihilated. So it's like a big mind teaser, and and Pentaquark, I have no idea anything about it. I know that there's like this video game that everybody plays. I have no idea what's going on there. And it was hard to find videos for this, considering that game is like flooded. But it's a unique game, and I don't really know how to pinpoint what kind of game this is. I know playing 6 times and not winning is frustrating, but it kept me wanting to play the game, because it's like I need to win one time. If I win one time, then I'll figure out my strategy on how to win more times. But I haven't figured that out yet, so it's always changing up, and you can't always use the same strategy, because the same cards aren't going to flip at the same time. So it's always changing, and it just keeps flexing. So it's a really cool game. I mean, it comes in this pouch. It comes in this little Buttonshy pouch. So that's kind of cool. So you could just take, half of it, and you can stick it in half of this and half of that, and that's a really cool way to do it, and it's all cards. So you have 18 cards here. They are going on Kickstarter September 6th. So if you guys are going to check that out, that's actually tomorrow. So if you're going to check that out, that'll be live on there, and I'll put a link for that Kickstarter once it goes live tomorrow. I'll put a link on this video. So I know I'm not doing a how to play video for the game. There are some out there. So if you just type that in the browser, that's how I learned how to play, and everything else. And then the rules, it's a prototype, so I couldn't expect all the rules to be, flow nicely. But when I read it the first time, I hadn't realized that it was a solo game as well. So you play it by yourself. So so on a negative thought, that's kind of a downer for me, because that's the purpose of me playing board games. I don't want to play by myself. That's the purpose of me bringing people to a table to play a game. And I guess it's a really cool game, but it's not one that I would, play all the time, because when I'm playing board games, it's with other people. So I think maybe the only game I've ever played by myself, because nobody was home at the time, was Pathfinder, Adventure card game. But other than that, I did that like twice. So other than that, and I could be wrong. This will be sitting on the shelf, and I'll probably look at it and be like, you know what, I'm gonna play some Pentaquark. I mean, why not? So, being home all the time, having a lot of time on my hands, doing the Geekedupgaming thing and this, maybe I'll have time to play it. But it's definitely an interesting game, and it's definitely can be frustrating learning how to play it, or not learning how to play it, but learning what to do and when to do it, and putting the right cards in the right spot. And it's just card movement. You're gonna put them in the discard, and you can kind of put cards in the discard, because the next round, that pile's gonna flip. So I'll put certain anti cards in that to make them flip. But if it's with the annihilate card, you're gonna have to annihilate one, and the other one goes automatically up to the top of the board, which is gonna go back to the discard and recirculate again. So then it's not gonna pan out as much as you want, but you're taking that chance. So there's a little bit of luck into it, some strategy. You can kind of manipulate where you're gonna. If you put the cards on there, you can kind of manipulate the game, but it's pretty straightforward. You can't really change a whole lot for it or anything like that. But it's a neat game. It's kind of cool to have it in this little travel pack. I guess if I do have time to play by myself, it would be a game that I would play. It's I don't know. It's hard for me to really put it in a category. I guess that's kind of a good thing. I can't put it in a category, so that makes it significant. I'm playing it and everything else. But anyways, that's all I have to say about it. It's a good game. It sucks that it's solo. It's a solo game, and that's pretty much all I have to say bad about it. The contents. I mean, the cards are pretty good. They're really nice stock. They have a good snapback and everything else, and that's pretty much it.
Can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
With it being a solo game, it's the thing that I think that he's not saying correctly is we like solo games. We're not really comfortable with a strictly solo game. Because like in the past we've praised Pathfinder and other like co-op games for being one player, that if you want to play that. So for some people I think that would work, but for this being only strictly solo player, that's going to work for some people, but for us, we like the option of playing a game with people as well as solo. So I guess that's kind of...
And I guess, in a way, you can make it to where if two people are playing together, I mean, you can just, decide together. Yeah, either you can take a turn and you put cards in certain areas, and then the next person takes a turn and puts the cards in their areas.
And you win together.
Or you can just select together. So it's going to work better if you're both sitting on the same side of the table, because the way that the board lays out when you're playing it, I say board, there's no board, it's just your table, and then there's the sections that you put everything in. But when you're playing it, if you play it with two people, you'll need to sit on the same side so that all the areas look the same. Because Anna was teaching me the game, and they were facing me, the cards, but she was laying them out in her, like, how she would see them in the area. So the collider area was supposed to be in front of me, but we were placing those cards up at the top, and it was flip-flopped, and I was really confused at that point. But it's a unique game, and I think that with it being staying this strictly solo, that's kind of a downer. But it's neat. You can take it wherever you want. You can put it in your pocket. It's wallet sized. So that's all I have to say about it. It's a good game. I mean, if you play games a lot by yourself, definitely one of them that you'll pick up. But yeah, so that's all I have to say. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No.
Nope. Okay. Well, she's off camera reading a rule book, so that's why she's not with me. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. I'm Tim with the Geeked Up Gaming Review Group, and I will also be writing about my game, my actual experiences on what happened and everything while playing Pentaquark by Buttonshy. So that'll be on geekedupgaming.weebly.com if you guys want to check that out. I will have a written up. I don't know how fast that'll go up, but I will get something. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.